Hi, welcome back to Dragonfly Awakening. My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about mindfulness. Most of us experience our life as a conceptual world. I can speak from my own experience, where before I learned how to meditate, life was simply a reactive, interreactive experience. The mind forms habit in almost everything we do. If we look at our jobs, our daily life, even on the weekends, the mind builds habit into everything we do so that we're not constantly reinventing the wheel and having to analyze things and make decisions. An example of that is driving your car. You don't think time to time what exactly you need to do. We get so used to it, we do it so often, it becomes a habit. In essence, you are not driving your car, your brain is. Our brains are here to help us file taxes, do our day jobs, and calculate non-Euclidean geometry. Okay? There's not much else to that. But we tend to identify so much from the mind that we believe we are the mind. What we experience in the mind, we believe is us, and we believe through our mind is our world. This is the conceptual world. This is only a tiny piece of the reality that we're living in. And by living that way, we are not embracing the fullness, the beauty of the life that we actually have right under our nose going heart-centered. Learn how to do this with me. So mindfulness, what is mindfulness? We think of being in the mind. I know I just said that's not what you want to do. Not exactly. Mindfulness, learning how to be mindful is learning to shift from the unconscious robotic life to constant situational awareness. We need to move ourselves into a deeper conscious awareness and learn how to remain in that state always. I think about some of the literature I've read, some ancient, some modern, in the schools of Advaita Vedanta, self-inquiry, Zen Buddhism. There's koans out there, there are koans out there that help project our mind to a certain place so that we can try to get to this place of mindfulness, of deep conscious awareness. Some of the simpler ones that I can share with you are things, for example, like can the perceiver be perceived? You're perceiving your life, right? Where in you, in your body, in your mind, in your head, in your spirit soul, where is the perceiver? Who's the perceiver? Can that perceiver be seen? Can the perceiver be perceived? What happens with this? It internalizes your awareness. It internalizes your contemplation. Where in me is the perceiver that perceives all of this life? Another question is, who am I? It's not just name, social security number, and address. What am I? What is the essence of my being? Our awareness goes from the outside to the inside. So this has to do with self-knowledge. This has to do with the old saying, axiom, know thyself. What we are ultimately is loving awareness. We are consciousness. Okay? We are not a soul in the body. We are vast consciousness. And our body is within our soul and the mind within that body. The goal of conscious awareness or mindfulness is to reach a state where you are able to perceive openly that you are not a body, that you have a body. The ultimate goal is to realize that you have what others call a body, mind, spirit complex. I am aware that I have a body. I am aware that I have a mind. I am aware that I am a spirit. There's a difference between have and am. Realizing that the essence of your nature comes from this conscious awareness, this ever deepening perception of your being. Don't take my word for it. With practice of mindfulness and meditation, you will be able to see that in your experience, in your awareness, is a body and a mind, this internal biological computer. But it is not who I am. What an amazing experience. Try it. Another aspect of looking at ourselves is that we are indeed multidimensional beings. Okay, I mentioned a body, mind, spirit complex. Our essence exists on multiple dimensions. It is not just of this physical world. It is not just the mental body, emotional body. We live in various dimensions, okay? And this realization, not philosophy, but realization comes through deep, keen awareness, okay? In fact, our souls, our spirits, never left God. We've never left heaven, to use some archaic terminology. We are still oneness with our source energy, but we are currently having the dream, the illusion of having a human experience. We are, therefore, a spiritual being having a human experience, but we have never been separated from that absolute divine love, that home that is where we belong in, and that home that is in us. So, to kind of recap here, for those who are not really practiced or those who are very evolved souls, you can see that most people are centered in the mind. We experience our mind through this biological computer. We need to back up. We need to see ourselves in the body, mind, spirit complex. We need to eventually get to the place where we are heart-centered. Because again, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We need to correct our perspective in order to find the fullness of all things that we are looking for, which is already here, but how do you see it? That's what meditation and awareness is about. So now I would like to do an experiment. The best way to try to find the state of being that I'm describing here is to experiment with it. Okay? We have a body, a mind, a spirit, awareness. Let's play with it so that we can get more familiar with it and find where I'm trying to direct you. Okay? This is a little experiment I found. All credit to Rupert Spira, an amazing Advaita Vedanta teacher. Please check him out on YouTube and pretty much anywhere. This little experiment is called Are You Aware? Okay? So just kind of relax, loosen up, sit in a chair. Maybe try to get into a little bit of a meditative state. Make sure your environment is quiet, okay? If you've gotten this far, you know you need that to begin with, okay? So, sit quietly and just lightly put your attention on an object in the room, okay? So, for example, I have a vase of flowers to the right of me. You can ask yourself, in this case, I'm going to ask myself, am I aware of the flowers? Okay, now, I need you to focus not on the object, but the mind. What is happening in the mind as we experiment with this? Are you aware of the flowers in the room? Okay. Are you aware of the picture on the wall? Are you aware of the carpet on the floor? Are you aware of the chair you were sitting on? Are you aware? Okay, for those of you who got it, what happened? Did you notice a shift? What happened in the mind? What happened in your field of perception when you were aware of a lamp, flowers, a photo, the floor, the chair, and then aware? Okay, if you didn't get it, pause this video and try a few more times. Try to become aware of what is happening inside of you when you're making these shifts in perception, okay? For those of you who got it, let's see here. We find that attention is focused awareness, okay? And you are directing your awareness to be focused on an object. Awareness is non or unfocused awareness or perception. So we went to a particular object, say a picture on the wall, our awareness, which is vast, open perception, perceiving all and everything, focused to the picture on the wall. Okay, we gave our perception an object. When we asked, are you aware? It unfocused. Okay. When you ask yourself, are you aware? Am I aware? We realize that that focus goes away and there is simply awareness. Okay. Now, practice that and sit in that, because that unfocused, vast awareness is a key element into mindfulness, conscious awareness, meditation. Okay? Hold that thought. I need to explain something a little further. The mind is a tool. Okay, as I explained earlier about, we use this mind to quantify, to file taxes, to do math, to do our jobs. The mind is a tool, but it is not who we are. The mind is a tool, but it is not who we are. We have a mind. We do not live in the mind, or we're not supposed to live in the mind. The mind needs an object. The mind, a subject, needs an object in order to remain active. Example, try not to think. You're going to think, okay? Well, how do we learn to relax the mind? How do we take away an object so that the mind can just be awareness? We just did that. Are you aware? We allow our being to be set on the open, vast perception of all things in our experience right now. Okay? So again, the mind is a tool. It is not who we are. The mind needs an object in order to remain active. Learn how to be inactive, but consciously aware. The lesson here is to get us to learn how to focus on all levels of our being during meditation in order for us to be receptive to all the finer elements that are there. The underworkings, the subconscious that is running the machine of who and what we are in our daily life. We are now reversing the direction of awareness from our outside environment to the inside environment. That has to do not just on the physical level, but on the emotional level. You know, all of those triggers and things that come around, but also mind, thoughts. What are we telling ourselves? This I'll get into a little later. Okay, good so far. Let's continue. Let's do another experiment. Let's talk about stillness. Okay? We've talked about awareness, mindfulness, stillness. Are they all the same thing? They're all a little different. So you've already learned the difference between mindfulness and conscious awareness. Now what about stillness? The old saying, be still and know that I am God. Okay, poetry from the ancient book of Psalms. I like the reference because it is kind of a hidden key element in this ancient text that actually does teach about meditation. You know, becoming relaxed, sitting still, calming the mind, finding the stillness. Be still, know that I am God. It means that we are part of that source energy, that God source energy. We are part of that vast universal presence. We are not just these little tiny human beings. Okay? In this practice, we're going to learn how to find stillness. When we can find the stillness, we can find peace. And when we find the stillness and the peace, we find the doorway to spirit. We then find that there is a river of peace. In all things, there is a river of peace inside of us flowing at all times, even during chaos. So let's do a little meditation, okay? You can pause it if you need a few more seconds to get to a place where you are relaxed and aware, being consciously aware of your inner self, okay? Underneath the body, underneath the mind, maybe I should say behind the body, behind the mind, is the essence of stillness. It is spirit, okay? When all that is relaxed, when the body and mind are relaxed, feel the stillness. Feel the stillness throughout your entire body. Feel it for a while, practice. But as you go beyond the stillness, you start to find a vibratory field. It might feel like a little bit of an electrical vibration happening through your body, okay? Find stillness, find that vibratory field, and ask yourself, in this moment of fullness and completion, do I need anything? The answer is going to be no, because if you found that stillness, you are full and complete in that moment. Okay? Find the stillness, find that vibratory field, find the peace. In that stillness and peace, you find the doorway to spirit and the river of peace beyond all things. You can feel this vibratory field in your body and your mind. You can feel it in the cushion under you. You can find it in the chair, in the ground. This stillness exists in the walls and the air outside of your room, around your home, or wherever you're at. The stillness exists during these most silent, intimate moments, and it also exists in the absolute most terrible moments of chaos. But when you learn to find that door, and when you learn how to enter that door under any circumstance, you find the foundation of your being, that deeper sense of self that remains untouched by this insane world. Find this harmony, and you will find that the world will change before your eyes. These are simple little remedies I teach you, but they are big doors to changes in your life. The stillness is a substratum of all existence. It is the same stillness light years away in other galaxies. It is also the same stillness that exists in the heart of God or in heaven, everywhere. Look into this mindfulness and conscious awareness to embrace all things. So, did you find it? I hope you did. If you didn't, practice. When you find it, and it's time to end your meditation, and it's time to get off the cushion, don't let it go, okay? In the stillness, in awareness, in conscious awareness, in mindfulness, there is no end to this perception, okay? As you've opened the door, you see the first layer. But as you continue to practice, this perception gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. More on this in a second. Back to getting off the cushion. When you're done with your meditation, take your meditation with you. Please. Don't do what so many people do, and you're in a beautiful place of peace, and then, okay, I got to feed the cats, do the dishes, blah, blah, blah. No, don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself, okay? Take your meditation with you. This is the purpose of meditation. When you get up and begin your day, think of it this way. You need to be a human being and not a human doing, okay? You're not just going back into action, but you are being. You are a human being in the fullness of your being, in the essence of what you are. And you touched that essence when you got into the stillness, okay? Eckhart Tolle calls this practicing presence. When you take the essence of your meditation with you through your day, don't go back into the same old mind frame. Learn to incorporate the depth of your meditation in your daily life. This is how we grow, okay? Learn to incorporate the depth of your meditation into your daily life. You don't meditate, stop, go to work, okay? You meditate, you enter the door of the depth of your being, and you stay there until you go to sleep at night. Okay, take it with you. This is a huge thing that people forget about. Before you get up off the cushion, just enjoy what you experienced, okay? That stillness is still there. Breathe, get some oxygen into your lungs so that you can kind of become more physically aware. Before you begin your day, stand up, stretch. Remain keenly aware of your feelings, your thoughts, your actions. Begin to become keenly aware of the beauty in every moment. Okay? Let's say after you meditate, you go up to make yourself a cup of coffee. Stay in that stillness. Enjoy the peace in the foundation of your heart, of your being. Okay. Notice what it's like to move this body. You are a puppeteer moving this body. Okay. As you stand up and you walk from your meditation room into your kitchen, notice the beautiful light coming through the windows. Notice the furniture and the decorations in your house. Notice that everything actually is in its own state of stillness. Everything is in that stillness that you share with it. Notice the beauty of the sounds of opening the cupboard, of heating the water, of the brewing of the coffee. Notice the flavor in your mouth. See, everything becomes beautiful when you go into this state of deep awareness. This is coming out from the conceptual awareness of your life into the fullness of being. Okay? Now, I always recommend meditate in the morning and meditate at night before you go to bed. Okay? Because we do tend to lose some of it as we get, especially if you're a beginner, you lose some of this meditative consciousness during your day. Especially if you had a hectic day like I did when I was a paralegal for 20 years. Won't go into that right now. But you enter the door in the morning, you enter the door at night. What happens as you continue practice, daily ardent practice twice a day, is that your meditation meets in the middle. Okay? Your meditation is with you through your day. Your meditation is with you even through your sleep. There is sleep meditation as well. But meditation is not really a thing we're trying to do, okay? Meditation is already there. Meditation is learning how to access the fullness of our being. I have a better definition of meditation in my last video. Check it out. It's going to be up here or here or here or maybe over here. Anyway, we need to learn that meditation isn't so much a doing as it is a being. Human being, human doing. Okay? Meditation is a state of being. Meditation meets you in the middle of your day. Okay? When you learn what to look for, as you practice, when you learn what to look for, you can enter that at any time. Again, even amidst the chaos of your day. Okay? Another aspect of mindfulness is self-transformation, okay? This mindfulness, this conscious awareness, this deepening of your perception in yourself helps you to become more aware of your behavior, your emotions. I mentioned that earlier. It helps us to start to untangle all of these unresolved things that we have inside of ourselves, as well as like the false beliefs and the negative self-talk that we have. We start to realize how much that's actually hurting us. When we actually have the ability to go in there and find that and untangle that crap, we make room for deeper perception. Deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, okay? Through this depth, through the doorway of mindfulness, we are able to begin to navigate our inner landscape. Also becoming aware of the energy we are receiving from other people, emotions, as well as the energy we are projecting on them. We start to learn to be able to clear that up. We also be able to start to unlock our deeper intuition, as well as psychic abilities. You don't have to be special to be a psychic. There are some phenomenal psychics out there. But here's the thing. Everybody's psychic. We just have a skill that we never practice. You know, it's like everybody, if they take some piano lessons, can play a few songs eventually. But with the change of this world and this universe at this moment, everybody is going to be unlocking their deeper intuition and psychic abilities. The doorway is through meditation. The doorway is through stillness. Okay? The doorway is through spirit. The last thing I'd like to conclude in this video is the goal, the end result, is to be heart-centered. Okay? The goal is to be receptive and perceptive through our heart. We have to be anchored to the divine above in the crown, all right? And then we also have to be grounded from our root down into the earth. It's something as you practice when you meditate is learning to be grounded, and you feel that anchoring energy, that earth energy through your feet going up into your body or from the base of your spine. I meditate down on the floor, feel it through the base of my spine. You're not trying to ground, but you have to find the grounding that's already there. Okay, it is an earth energy that grounds your body. We are the multidimensional species of, as I've said earlier, We are the beings where heaven and earth meet and kiss. This is where all universe makes love. We are the spiritual being, have the human experience. Spirit at the crown, entering earth from the root, and we meet in the center here at the heart chakra. Okay, very important. As you become more aware of yourself, as you become more aware of the body, mind, spirit complex, you want to be anchored in your root. You want to be centered at, you want to be centered in your heart, because in that is where you begin to transcend the reality, the illusion of this earth life. Okay? Through the heart, then, is the doorway to the cosmos, in that infinite light, love, and happiness. More on that later. There's so many more great lessons coming up. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, please let me know. As you know, we don't have a lot of videos up yet, but there are so many more to come. And I also want to find ways to clarify things if I'm not explaining them fully. I think I did a pretty good job. But anyway, be sure to visit us at our website, www.dragonflyawakening.com, for very, very detailed lessons, much more detailed than this. We can even schedule one-on-one lessons. Stay tuned for more videos. As I said, like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Wonderful. Light, love, and happiness to you always.